nation. Chalk in hand, he's on a mission, shaping dreams with precision.
Today's story is all about the Pride Parade. Let's begin and let's read a little bit about this joyous month. Right, every June the streets of the United Kingdom burst into colour, music, and unapologetic joy. Flags flutter from windows, drag queens sashay through city centres, and grandparents beam as their grandkids dance beside them at Pride. From Brighton to Belfast, Glasgow to Cardiff, the month of June is no ordinary chapter in the calendar. It's a living, breathing tapestry of love, identity, resistance, and celebration. Pride in the UK didn't begin with confetti or corporate sponsorships. It began in whispered conversations behind pub doors, in underground clubs where love had to wear masks, and in the defiant courage of people who simply refused to hide anymore. The first official UK Pride March took place in London in 1972, just 5 years after homosexuality was partially decriminalised in England and Wales. About 2,000 people showed up, some wearing wigs, others clutching signs hand-painted the night before. They were met with jeers, spit, and police presence, and still they marched. Fast forward to today, and over 1 million people attend Pride in London each year. The transformation is staggering, but the spirit remains the same, an affirmation that love is love, and freedom, once tasted, can't be given up quietly. In Manchester, Pride has become a citywide festival, radiating out from the gay village and Canal Street. Locals will tell you about Manto, the bar with the glass front, revolutionary in the 1990s because it didn't hide its patrons away behind thick curtains like the others. It was an act of architectural defiance. These small acts mattered. They told young queers, newly arrived from rural towns or conservative homes, that they weren't alone. Birmingham's Pride, famously one of the earliest in the UK to centre on intersectionality, often weaves its parade through the heart of the city's South Asian neighbourhoods. A visible symbol of the diverse LGBTQ plus identities that exist within every culture, tradition, every cultural tradition. Stories emerge from here too of a Pakistani mother who walked with her son for the first time, her dupatta pinned into rainbow folds, of a Jamaican poet who stood on stage and read verses about growing up gay in Handsworth and finally finding the courage to say it out loud. In Belfast, Pride feels like both a victory and a vigil. Northern Ireland was the last part of the UK to legalise same-sex marriage, only in 2020. Pride here is political in a way that's deeply personal. It's about shaking off the long shadow of shame cast by churches and governments. In 2019, a couple stood at the front of the parade holding hands, weeping. They had waited 50 years to be able to love each other in daylight. And in small towns across the UK, from Hebden Bridge to Aberystwyth, from Falmouth to Falkirk, Pride takes on quieter but no less powerful forms. A community centre hosting its first queer film night, a high street bakery icing rainbows onto their cupcakes, a primary school displaying children's drawings of families that don't all look the same. These are the moments when pride ripples into the everyday, when it becomes more than a parade, when it becomes culture. June is not just about glitter and anthems, it's also a time to remember. The silence of friends who never came out, the heartbreak of the HIV/AIDS crisis when shame killed as surely as the virus did. The violence, the bullying, the long stretch of time when loving the wrong person could get you imprisoned, institutionalized, or killed. In Scotland, where same sex activity was only decriminalized in 1980, some older attendees of Pride carry photos of lovers they lost or wear badges from the early marches when police threats were real and arrests were common. One man, Peter, comes to Edinburgh Pride every year in a faded t-shirt that reads, "We were always here." He told a local paper once, "Pride is my church. It's where I grieve and it's where I heal." Despite the progress, there are still fights to fight. Trans rights are under siege in public discourse. Hate crimes against LGBTQ plus people are rising, and many queer youth, particularly in faith communities or ethnic minority households, still grow up believing they are wrong for existing. But still, they come, they arrive in droves each June, with faces painted and flags tied as capes. They kiss in public, hold hands in defiance of fear, and chant with the same fire as their predecessors in 1972. Pride is protest, yes, but it is also party. It is joy, not in spite of the struggle, but because of it. A little boy in Bristol once ran up to a drag queen at Pride and gave her a flower. She knelt down, mascara already smudged by the heat, and asked him why. He said, "You look like magic." She smiled and said, "So do you." That's what June in the UK feels like, a kind of magic, hard won, defiantly joyful, and utterly, radiantly human.